Think you've seen it all in our videos? Well, there's so much more behind the scenes. From our days living in Brazil to setting up our new life in the US, not to mention getting married, we've traveled, we've explored, and yes, we've faced a few surprises along the way. Now, we're starting a new chapter in a cozy home on the gorge, and it feels like we're truly putting down roots. And there's more. We've welcomed a fluffy little dog into our family. In today's video, we're gonna answer your questions, bring you up to date, and reveal some intimate details of our lives that we've kept private until today. So you think we're gonna set it on here? Oh, really? Explain.
Well, no, a couples counselor, she asked me if I ever thought about getting divorced, and I said,
We're gonna start off with something new, a speed round. So we've written each other questions and we're gonna give each other 1 minute to answer as many questions as possible.
yes. And then after that, we're gonna go to the questions that you guys sent us. Rock, paper, scissors.
Wait, no, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, shoot.
No, I thought you were gonna change it. Wait, so I ask you first.
I ask you first. I'm kidding, you can start.
No, I'm kidding. What do you want to do?
I can start.
Okay. Favorite thing about this house?
The view.
Least favorite thing?
The carpet.
Big spoon or small spoon?
Big spoon.
Do you want another tattoo?
No.
Lake house or cabin in the woods?
Lake house.
Favorite video we did this year?
Oh shit. New Year's.
Favorite video we've done all the time?
All the time. Guatemala.
Favorite memory from our wedding?
The vows.
One place you want to visit?
Portugal.
Last book you read?
A Little Life.
Boxers or briefs for you?
Briefs.
Smooth or hairy for you?
Huh?
Smooth or hairy? Your body?
Oh, my body?
Uh-huh.
Mine?
Yeah.
Smooth.
Favorite movie you right now?
Movie. Right now, at this moment, we just watched Oppenheimer, so that was
Favorite series you're watching now?
Fellow Travelers.
Dream car?
Dream car? A Jeep? Oh, that was so fast. Here you go. Mountains or beaches?
Mountains.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Winter or summer?
Winter.
Favorite city visited together?
No, Guatemala's not a city. Oaxaca.
Most memorable travel mishap?
Not having the medicine.
Who's more likely to send a flirt text in the middle of the day?
You.
Who's more likely to get lost?
Me.
Road trip
Oh,
or
both of
plane
us.
journey?
Road trip or plane? Road trip.
Favorite Brazilian dish?
Stroganoff or feijoada.
What's the silliest? Oh no, just favorite snack during movie night?
Popcorn.
Okay, and that was fast.
I got my heart rate going.
1 minute goes by fast. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the questions that you guys sent us. We're gonna start with the most light-hearted ones, and then we're gonna go to the ones that are more personal. Okay, first question: who's more likely to make a goofy mistake on a trip, and what was the most memorable one? So that's easy. That would be you.
That would be me. My passport is expired. Expired on August 3rd, 10 days ago.
Took us a while.
I ran out of medication. We don't have any of the medication here on the island. He doesn't know about in Panama.
You also booked an Airbnb in Panama, thinking it was Costa Rica. He showed me the place. Oh, look at this place in Costa Rica, and I was like, oh wow, this is a cool one. But let's book it. I got here in Panama, like mistake.
I think
that's
definitely me. What's the funniest misunderstanding you've had due to cultural differences? I think our jokes, what I sometimes think is funny, you don't And also,
Usually it's the other way around.
the jokes you have, I don't find funny.
Yeah. I don't know how far I can go here in the West with my jokes. I think my sense of humor tends to be a little bit heavier and sometimes a little bit darker and dirtier for sure. And I don't know, maybe a little bit more sarcastic. And sometimes that's a little too far for Americans, for North Americans.
Sometimes our words, remember,
Have you gotten, what is it? Stung by a cactus?
By a
stung. What?
By a fill.
By a fill.
Stung by a fill. No? What did you ask?
Stung by a cactus.
By a fill.
By a, oh, by a field.
By a field of them.
I don't know.
You're making
Like that.
No, clam is a little thing.
No, because
A little shell. But there's that food inside. You open the shell and you eat the food. That's a moisture. And a clam.
sometimes says something, I'm like, huh? Oh, it just happened. Mishap.
What's mishap?
Oh, mishap. And I don't know. And then you played it on the dictionary and it was like mishap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, mishap.
Can each of you imitate the other person's most annoying habit? Which one should I imitate? Because that's very easy.
What
Oh,
are you,
yeah?
what are you doing? What, opening all the windows?
Yep. It's 30 degrees outside. He opens every window.
But it feels good.
We sleep with the windows open, and I wake up in the middle of the night with a headache and like super cold. No, it's too cold. I gotta close this.
He likes it really hot where you're sweating. I made the fire.
Yeah, for a reason, because it's cold, which means we need to close all the doors and all the windows. That's one.
Can I do mine?
Please do.
He wears glasses sometimes. We're watching like a good series with Henry right here. You, and then I have to stop the series. Because if I don't stop it and I keep watching it, then I have to watch it again the next day. So it's just like
Sometimes it takes 3 nights for us to go through
One episode.
One episode.
How did you come to the decision to adopt Henry, and what has he brought to your lives?
When we decided that we wanted to be more settled and not travel as much as before.
And it's definitely given us, I don't know, some peace, some...
Makes things lighter. I don't know, it just makes the environment lighter and easier, and it allows us to display affection like freely,
Yeah.
I think. Because with dogs, you don't have to, you're just free to display all the affection you want. I don't know.
So he fits perfectly in the family.
And he loves to cuddle, which we like.
He loves sleeping in the bed. He doesn't get up, for sure.
He's really the dog that we were looking for.
Yes. She's just so good. We get to talking to little doggy bushy. Do you expect therapy to be ongoing for the rest of your lives, or do you view it more as a journey, process, and education?
I see it more as something temporary. At least for me, I like to do some work for some time and then kind of step away for a little while and make my own decisions. Try the things that I've learned throughout the therapy.
So for me, I've been doing therapy for over 3 years now, and there was a lot of stuff that Dr. Solomon helped me see as in my childhood and my teens that really affected me, affected our relationship. So I know that I'm gonna keep going. Obviously, hopefully not for the rest of my life, but I am really starting to have this passion of educating myself, which in hopes I can, share what I've learned to other people. What's the most challenging aspect of editing your own videos? Did either of you go to school for this? We do edit and film all of our videos. I like kind of fast, moving videos, like the moving to like the moving out of Portland, the fast intro. We're about to tour 8 houses that could potentially be our new home.
Is it yes or a no?
It's a big fat no. A lot of emotions and storytelling. That's what I am drawn to.
Yeah, I would say I like those types of videos too. I think really depends on the situation. There are videos that, yes, you can make things fast, but that's not going to be every video, you know. And I would say time management.
It's midnight, 11:53. I'm doing the thumbnail. He's looking over the video, make sure it's all right.
We don't have any good thumbnails so far.
We do. We have good thumbnail.
It's much like when we are editing our own videos, that's much harder. It's less time to record because the editing takes a bunch of time. We have our other job. Sometimes we go to YouTube to watch tutorials, to learn new things. But yeah, it's been a process that, I don't know, we've been learning by ourselves.
It's hard editing videos if you're a perfectionist.
When things get tough or bumpy, what are your go-tos to reduce the tension?
Bye-bye, I'm out of here. Going to the room.
That's how it used to be.
Yeah, that was the past.
So in the past, I used to be more confrontational. I think I would want to solve the problem at that moment. It doesn't matter how much you were triggered or how much I was triggered. And you would tend to isolate yourself.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be just like 30 minutes, an hour of isolation. Sometimes it would, I don't know, be 3 days.
It was in the past.
And I think now we're learning like, okay, let's step away for, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. And then let's calm down, and then we get together, and then we're going to be in the headspace to have more of a productive conversation, I think.
Yeah, and I think couples therapy, I learned that it was hard for me to apologize. I was also afraid of being abandoned, so I thought if we got into a fight, we were gonna like break up or divorce, so that would always scare me. But now I know that's not gonna happen, and now it's kind of like an hour.
Yeah, maybe an hour.
So we're decreasing it.
Yeah, and the way we communicate to each other has improved a lot, both ways.
Yeah, and now I can say I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry for keeping the windows and the door open when it's cold. I won't do that anymore. I'll put a fan, even though I won't sleep that well.
Problema é seu. Just kidding.
So the individual question for Bernardo: do you think it helped by taking time away from social media and Adam to focus on yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was very much necessary for me to have that sense of separation and really just be with myself, see the world through my own lenses. And yeah, it was probably I would say the most selfish thing I've done so far, but I wouldn't say selfish in a bad way. It was really necessary, and I needed that.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I think I was truly taking care of myself.
And your like first vacation by yourself,
By myself, yes.
where you could decide what you wanted to eat, where you wanted to go.
Yeah, for sure.
When you came back from the airport, yeah, just a different energy. Or
I would say that was a time before Mexico and a time after Mexico. I think my light was all gone when I left, like before leaving, and then I came back with way more energy and really feeling like myself again. So this one is for you. You've mentioned that you went to school in New York for musical theater. Have you ever considered doing local theater work?
Yeah, after graduating in New York, I went back to Florida and I did some musicals and some plays in local theaters there. And then, I went to Brazil, so couldn't really do anything. The weird thing is I did do a condom commercial.
In Brazil?
Condom, how do you say condom?
I didn't know that.
Camisinha?
Camisinha.
Yeah, I did that.
I
That
didn't
was
know
way
that.
before
You
It was
never
like-
told me that.
And then when we came to Portland, I thought about it, but I really get a lot of creativity like I would doing those plays and creating these YouTube videos. And, you know, when you were away in Mexico, I started this like weekly update on our Patreon channel where it's super candid. I share what we've done over the week. And so it's just another way for me to share a little of the creativity.
And if you want to check out those, let's say, more intimate moments, you guys can definitely go to our Patreon page. Yeah, we would appreciate your support there. That's where we post some extra materials, stuff that not necessarily would go here on the main YouTube channel.
I get to start like this, and then when the camera gets to you, you say, "Welcome to Sao Paulo." Okay.
Welcome to Sao Paulo.
What has been your favorite part so far?
Been doing the weekly updates. We're on edition. First snowfall means Henry has all of his gear. Oh.
Like a pony.
That's how we would walk in high heels. So every week there's a new update, and then we do some monthly Zoom chat.
We were in the car, I think, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I told the Steps family that like you have pretty bad eyes."
So it's a nice community that we built there, and
Yeah,
it's nice.
and we would love to have you there too.
And we're gonna have some extra questions on there as
Oh,
well. You came at the right time.
At the right time, right? We were about to talk about kids.
Children.
He's a big baby. Big baby. Are you guys thinking of adopting a baby somewhere in the future or through surrogacy? I think in the past, when people would ask us, we would say, and kids, we also think about kids.
We love kids.
Yeah,
We want one.
We do want one, but that's for the future.
Further along.
Nowadays, I think we can see that we still have a lot to figure out ourselves.
Wouldn't be right for the child, you know, like, because we're still discovering a lot of stuff, and I can barely parent myself, more or less a kid. You're just enough.
Yeah, we're good for now with Henry.
Yeah. But you would be a very good dad.
You would too.
You can't say this about me.
I can. You would.
What's the most important thing you've learned in therapy so far?
I've been learning how to put my own needs and well-being first. I think before therapy, instinctively, I would just compromise a lot of myself in order to make other people happy.
For me, obviously, I think therapy helps me understand, like, okay, why I was jealous, why I would get angry, why I need to control things, why I want to be a perfectionist. I think being able to identify these feelings and why these feelings are coming up, that was a big thing. And also, you know, my parents were doing the best they could because they learned what to do from their parents, and their parents learned from their parents. So it gave me a lot of peace that, you know, my parents were doing the best they could with the tools that they had.
How did your engagement in marriage change the dynamics of your relationship, if at all? I would say it changed a lot. Say after the marriage, that's when shit gets real. You're making a commitment to spend the rest of your life with the other person, and that's when you get to see every tiny part of the other person that you didn't see before. Hungry?
I think our situation's a little different just because I think I didn't really know what had happened to me in the past. And so getting married and then, you know, traveling and then, you know, trying to do the YouTube videos, and it just all came up to like a point where it was just like, oh, something's not right. Then with Dr. Solomon, I could unpack what, you know, has happened. And yeah, it did happen right after our wedding. So I think definitely after our marriage, shit got pretty real.
If you love the other person, you have that commitment of, you know, trying to work through things. And sometimes that doesn't work. I see like an evolution in our marriage, which is good. and we're gonna keep working on ourselves.
Where on the world map do you ultimately see yourselves settling down? Do you think we're going to settle down here?
I don't think it's gonna be here. We would like to have more of a piece of land where, we have, I don't know, a bit more freedom.
Yeah, a little secluded.
A little secluded.
Not very far from the city.
I would not like to be in isolation.
Yeah, you need community.
Yeah, because I think that puts a lot of pressure on the relationship itself. Because, I don't know, the relationship is gonna have to suffice like everything.
Yeah.
Right? We don't know if it's going to be here on the West Coast, if it's going to be on the East Coast,
Brazil.
or even Brazil. But for now, we're good where we are. How do you feel about the way your relationship is perceived online versus your real life experiences? As much as we try to share here all the struggles we've been through, some people, they still see it like our lives as being perfect, but it's not. Let's make it clear, it's not perfect. We've been through so much stuff.
In Brazil, I think for me, I thought everything was like perfect in our relationship, and I showed a lot more affection there in Brazil. And then, discovering things in therapy, it's made me, I think, not show as much affection just because I'm working through some things. So it is, I think there's a different balance and a different dynamic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can be difficult being on social media as a couple. Was there ever a moment in your relationship where you almost broke up? Yes, there was.
That we almost broke up?
Yep,
When was it?
it was in Brazil. But you did say, I don't know if this can continue or we can keep going. So I took it as we almost broke up.
To be honest, we got closer to breaking up here in the US, I think.
Oh, really? Explain.
No, there were moments we talked about this in couples counseling where our couples counselor, she asked me if I ever thought about getting divorced, and I said yes. And I think especially when I started realizing how much of myself I had been compromising, and that was my choice to compromise, and that's what I'm learning.
I obviously, when you are going through a hard moment, I'm gonna think you deserve someone that you don't have to go through all this shit together. So then I would think like, yeah, he deserves someone better than me. But
so those types of conversation, they came up. I guess this is the tough questions session. Do you guys regret moving to the US? There's a part of me that yes, does regret. You had your own job, I had my job. Now we work together, 24,
Bernardo.
7. It's so we had more of a sense of individuality, I think, in Brazil. I miss that, and that's the tricky part about having a YouTube channel, displaying relationship and all that. I don't know if other couples that do this, if they feel the same way, but there's a part of me that also knows that our stories are still developing here in the US.
Yeah, there are things that I regret, but then kind of balances out. So
yeah, we got to see so much stuff here too.
Yeah.
And we got to do a lot of stuff after we started like focusing more on YouTube.
Right.
Also. So I can only talk about parts. Part of me regrets, but part of me loves the fact that we came here.
Yeah, like we wouldn't have gone through all this uncovering stuff in Brazil. So it like balances out.
What are the 5 most unforgettable moments you've experienced since the beginning of your relationship?
I put that in because you asked me that like 2 days ago. I'm like, it's just for the question and answer? Experiencing Chapada dos Veadeiros, the engagement, the wedding, starting therapy, and Guatemala.
I would say all the trips to Chapada dos Veadeiros for sure. The engagement for sure. The wedding. The trip to Southern California. I think that was the coolest road trip like we've done here in the West. and also Guatemala. What does making memories mean to you now, looking back at your journey together? Now, looking back, I think making memories goes way beyond travels. Just living here, just a fire outside.
Before Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, the drain clogged.
Why did this have to happen? Like,
It happens
right before.
There's always something on the holiday for us. It's a test. This test we're failing because I'm over it. That was definitely a memory we made together.
We're gonna remember that our sink being clogged throughout Thanksgiving. All right.
Wow,
That's
This was the last time we did one was 2 years ago, I think, in Maine.
Wow.
We've come a long ways.
Long ways. And
my hair's changed. Your hair's, I think, the same. Thank you all so much for being along on this journey with us. We're continuing to learn things about ourselves and each other, and it's fun to bring you along. All right.
That's it.
Love you.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
You want a baby or a puppy? No puppy. No baby.
No puppy, no baby.
A kitty kitty.
He wants to be the only child.